Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki. So continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, conclusion, the perfection of renunciation, text number 24 onwards. So Krishna is telling Arjuna, Yattu kamepsuna karma sahankarena vapuna kriyate bahula yasam tad rajasam udahritam. But action performed with great work by one seeking to gratify his desires and enacted from a sense of false ego is called action in the mode of passion. So now he is talking about action in the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. So passion means one who wants to gratify his desires, sense of false egos, and seeking power position. That is in mode of passion. Annubandham kshayam hinsam anapeksha cha paurusham mohadarabhyate karma yattat tamasam uchyate. That action performed in illusion, in disregard of scriptural injunctions, and without concern for future bondage or for violence or distress caused to others is said to be in the mode of ignorance. One has to give account of one's actions to the state or to the agents of Supreme Lord called the Yamadutas. Irresponsible work is destructive because it destroys the regulatory principles of scriptural injunctions. It is often based on violence and is distressing to other living entities. Such irresponsible work is carried out in the light of one's personal experience. This is called illusion, and all such illusory work is a product of the mode of ignorance. So, mode of ignorance is action performed in illusion, in disregard of scriptural injunctions and without concern for future bondage or for violence or distress caused to others. So basically, this is what is happening. Action and passion, more of ignorance and even less of passion. More of ignorance means in complete disregard of scriptural injunctions. This is what people are doing, and they are claiming it that they're following the dharma. They're following the scriptures. They're not following scriptures. They're following their mind, following their consciousness in the mode of ignorance, and in that mode, claiming it that this is how my scriptures taught me. That is completely in mode of ignorance. Scriptures, to study the scriptures, even to study Bhagavad Gita, which is given commentaries in wonderful detail by Srila Prabhupada, even to read that, even to understand those commentaries, we have to take shelter of a guru. So to understand scriptures means to follow a guru, and following a guru means a bona fide guru, not just anybody. We say it's my guru. So any action done without disregard, with disregard to all this, and without following the proper rules and regulations, it's in mode of ignorance because we are just following our mind, which is in ignorance anyway, which is not at all enlightened. So what happens to that kind of action? And then Prabhupada and Krishna say, without concern for future bondage or for violence or distress caused to others. No scripture, no bona fide, trustworthy scripture will say cause distress to others in the name of religion, in the name of comfort for yourself, in the name for your personal aggrandizement, cause distress to others. Others means others, not human beings only. Others means animals also, plants also, birds also, trees, fishes, everybody. So if we do that and we claim we are following religion, that is not religion. That's our mind. That's our ego. That's what we are following. False ego. And that definitely is in mode of ignorance. And what will happen to the person who keeps on performing these actions which are in mode of ignorance? His consciousness, which is already in ignorance, it will even go down in deeper and deeper ignorance. And what kind of birth he's going to take next life? We are studying. This is what Bhagavad Gita is telling us. Why Krishna is telling this to Arjuna? Arjuna wanted to leave the battlefield. Krishna is telling, scriptural injunctions are, you are Kshatriya, fight. Leaving the battlefield would have been him in illusion, not following the scriptural injunctions. And then he would be causing violence or distress to others. Why? Because if he leaves the battlefield and then Duryodhana and party still rule over, that would be cause of distress to lots of others. He's supposed to cause violence in the war, not otherwise. In the war, under the direction of Krishna, if he commits violence, it's not violence, it's dharma. So understanding Arjuna's dilemma and understanding Krishna's instructions, that is Bhagavad Gita. And to implement those instructions in our life, that's what we are trying to do. So Krishna, all the time, he's differentiating in so many things, actions, faith, or other activities, charity, penance, austerity, in what's in mode of goodness, what's in passion, what's in ignorance. So idea is we should avoid those things which are in passion and ignorance. Because of our sanskaras, our consciousness, our association, our upbringing, our status, we might continue with those activities, but we can reduce them to whatever extent possible. Continue doing more of the activities in mode of goodness. But ultimately, we have to see where we are going. What's our next life going to be? Here Krishna says, without concern for future bondage of next life. So the foundation for the next life is laid in this lifetime only. Whether we want to go back to Golok Vrindavan, it's laid in this lifetime. Whether we want to go to the higher planets, this lifetime we start working on it. Or whether we want to remain here or go down, it's all up to us. Even if people do nonsense kind of activities, and they claim, oh, we are following the scripture and dharma, and our dharma says so, and this and that. This is real dharma, Bhagavad Gita. There is no dharma about this, no instructions about this, because Krishna himself is giving these instructions. And here in these instructions of Bhagavad Gita, there is none of the other religions except Sanatana Dharma existed at that time. So this is for everybody, regardless of where they are born, which family they are born in, regardless which country, which situation. It's regardless. So this is for everybody. And that's why we have to try to follow these instructions properly. First, we have to try to understand this. Like Prabhupada said, it's often based on violence and its distress. One has to give account of one's actions to the state or to the agents of the Supreme Lord called the Yamdutas. Yamdutas are not going to listen to anybody when they come down and take our soul away. Oh, I'm from this religion and I'm from that religion. There's only one religion for you. Only on earth we have this kind of demarcation of so many religions. Other than earth, there's only one religion. Of course, uh, below earth, especially up to Sutal, is still okay. Lower than that, there is no religion. They're all in mode of ignorance. But in upper planets, there is only one religion, Sanatana Dharma. So when Yamdutas come here to earth and somebody argues, no, this is my religion, and my religion there is no Yamduta. Yamdutas are gonna grab him and beat him up. Whether you believe in it, believe in us or not, doesn't matter. They're still coming with us. It's just like if there are like even in America, they are, go to a city like LA or Chicago or New York. There's so many gangs, Hispanic gangs, even in Hispanic or Mexican, there's so many different gangs. Blacks have their different gangs, and the Italians have gangs, and Colombians have gangs. Because gangs means you protect me, I protect you, and together we are strong, so we can beat up somebody, and we can mug somebody, and we can do this, and all sorts of nonsense activities. Gangs don't mean they're going to get together and do Sankirtan. So they have gangs, fine, because they all are in mode of ignorance. So if they say we don't believe in the law of the land, police, when they capture them, they don't care. Police doesn't care whether these gang members believe in the law of the land or not. This is the law of the land. You're living on this land. You have to follow the law or go to jail. Simple as that. So same thing with Yamdutas. They're not going to care for which religion we followed, whether we caused violence or distress to others, whether we followed the scriptural injunctions or not. This is it. Text 26. Mukta sango an ahambadi dhriti utsaha samanvita siddhya siddhyor nirvikara karta sattvakuchyate. One who performs his duty without association with the modes of material nature, without false ego, with great determination and enthusiasm, and without wavering in success or failure, is said to be a worker in the mode of goodness. Performs his duty without association with the modes of material nature, without false ego, means without bringing the bodily concept of life in the picture. With great determination and enthusiasm, and without wavering, means with patience. That's mode of goodness. And Prabhupada says, a person in Krishna consciousness is always transcendental to the material modes of nature. He has no expectations for the results of the work entrusted to him because he is above false ego and pride. Still, he is always enthusiastic till the completion of such work. He does not worry about the distress undertaken. He is always enthusiastic. He does not care for success or failure. He is equal in both distress and happiness. Such a worker is situated in the mode of goodness. So mode of goodness, very difficult to achieve actually. It's not that easy, especially in today's day and age and the situation and the atmosphere that we have. So only a devotee can be in goodness or go beyond it. Because he knows he's working for Krishna. So he'll always be enthusiastic and working with determination. And he knows whether he is successful in terms of the results or not. For him, the activity, the service is a success. Just to be able to serve Krishna is success. And that is a real success actually. Results depend upon Krishna, whether he wants to give or not. Doesn't matter. But still he has enthusiasm and patience and determination. That's really moral goodness. And that is bhakti actually. Text 27. Ragi karma phal prepsur lubdo hinsatmako ashuchihi harsha shivkanvitaha karta rajasaha parikirtitaha. The worker who is attached to work and the fruits of work, desiring to enjoy those fruits, and who is greedy, always envious, impure, and moved by joy and sorrow, is said to be in the mode of passion. And this is what most of the people in the workplace, in the corporate circle, they do. Attached to the work and the fruits of work, desiring to enjoy those fruits, is greedy, always envious. At work, everybody is envious of others. Everybody is envious of the good work the other person is doing, or the kind of car he's driving, kind of clothes he's wearing, kind of shoes he's wearing, kind of jewelry he's wearing, kind of the way he looks, the way he talks. People are just envious of each other. And that enviousness is why? Because we are in a competitive world. And in competition, we have to put down others to get ahead. In mode of goodness, everybody is happy, seeing everybody else happy. They're just satisfied with whatever they have. And enthusiastically still serving. But passion is because of enviousness. We are envious. Look at the corporate world. Nobody is there to help each other unconditionally. Selfless help, never heard of. And what? Impure, moved by joy and sorrow, not moved by the fact that I have a service to do. Joy or sorrow is said to be in the mode of passion. Joy when we achieve something, sorrow when we don't achieve or when we lose it. It's cause of sorrow. A person is too much attached to a certain kind of work or to the result because he has too much attachment for materialism or hearth and home, wife and children. Such a person has no desire for higher elevation in life. He is simply concerned with making this world as materially comfortable as possible. He is generally very greedy and he thinks that anything attained by him is permanent and never to be lost. Such a person is envious of others and prepared to do anything wrong for sense gratification. Therefore, such a person is unclean and he does not care whether his earning is pure or impure. He is very happy if his work is successful and very much distressed when his work is not successful. Such is the worker in the mode of passion. And the problem is, if somebody in the mode of goodness wants to work or has to work among these people who are in mode of passion, it's a complete misfit. Complete misfit. The passionate people, they're always running and driving by greed and success and the pie charts and the bar diagrams and the graphs and the budgets and the targets. This is all their life is all about. Now in the corporate world myself, I see this and I laugh at them actually inside. Can't laugh openly. But inside, yes. What targets we are talking about? Oh, we're going to achieve this and we're going to do this many projects next year and we're going to make this much amount of money. And what are you going to do with that money? Oh, we are going to have big bank balances and big houses and big cars. And then what? Nobody wants to think about that. You're working so hard right now, working 10, 12, 14 hours a day to attain that kind of success. You're screwing up your health right now to attain success so that you can enjoy, but you want a healthy body to enjoy to begin with. Your mental status is completely messed up because so much of tension is there. And to relieve that tension, one has to drink, one has to go to clubs and bars because there is no process of chanting and meditation that these people follow. So even if after doing all this, one gets some money, what's the use? What will be the use? But nobody wants to think like that. It's always, every day, whole day, it's running after money, after success, after projects, after clients, after profits, and after markups and the margins, and so many things. And this software, and that software, and this hardware, and this software, and this product, and this client, and we'll get more clients, and more people, and more projects, and more money, which is good. I mean, nothing wrong with working hard, but working hard like an ass is not good. And especially when we should be understanding and trying to achieve that goal of life, but not the goal of life is important. The goal of company is becoming important. So that's in the mode of passion. Ayukta prakrita stabda shatho nash kriti ko alasaha vishadi dirgha sutricha karta tamas uchyate. And tamas, ignorant people are even wonderful. Let's see. The worker who is always engaged in the work against the injunctions of the scriptures, who's materialistic, obstinate, cheating, and expert in insulting others. Cheating and expert in insulting others, who's lazy, always morose and procrastinating, is said to be a worker in the mode of ignorance. He's materialistic, but he's always lazy and procrastinating. Aaj kare so kal kare so parso. This is the philosophy is. And working against the injunctions of the scriptures. So nobody likes to follow the scriptures. Nobody even likes to study or inquire anything about the scriptures. And expert in cheating and insulting others. Everybody that you meet these days at work or other places, they're expert in this. Why cheat? Because somehow they want to take whatever you have. They don't have the qualification, so let me cheat. And insult others. Have you ever noticed I see these things every day in office parties, office meetings, office retreats, get-togethers. And in fact, this is, I see in the devotee, so-called devotee circle also. The whole aim is to how to put down others. Whether that other is in the circle at that time, or whether that other is somewhere else, we just love to project or show others how I am the best person. In devotee circle, this is how I am the best devotee. Others are neophytes. Others, this person doesn't chant properly. This person doesn't read properly. This person doesn't lead the kirtan properly. This person doesn't give the lecture properly. This person doesn't do the dressing properly. He doesn't do the cooking properly. He doesn't make the garlands properly. He doesn't manage properly. Blah, 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 blah. Why? Because this way I can hide my faults, my shortcomings, and try to prove to others that I am better than others. And this makes me, gives me a sense of accomplishment. I have accomplished something. You haven't accomplished anything, nothing. Office also, same thing happens. How, oh, in that place, and this person made that argument, and I made the argument better way, and I put him down, and everybody's laughing, and everybody's clapping. What is this? This is actually sickness, mental sickness. This competition, so-called competition, is killing the natural instinct of the soul. We have read wonderful qualities of the soul. That's what we have to develop. Not enviousness, not competitiveness, not insulting others, not cheating others kind of propensity. If we keep on doing that, and this is the mode we're going to adopt. And when we leave the body in this mode, we know what's going to happen. In the scriptural injunctions, we find what sort of work should be performed and what sort of work should not be performed. Those who do not care for those injunctions engage in work not to be done, and such persons are generally materialistic. They work according to the modes of nature, not according to the injunctions of the scripture. Such workers are not very gentle, and generally they're always cunning and expert in insulting others. They're very lazy, even though they have some duty, they do not do it properly, and they put it aside to be done later on. Therefore, they appear to be morose, they procrastinate. Anything which can be done in an hour, they drag on for years. Such workers are situated in the mode of ignorance. So this is for us to follow, that we should not be doing this, and we should not be in the mode of ignorance. Text 29. Buddhirvedam dhriteshcheva gunatastri vidham shinu prochyamanam asheshena prithtvena dhananjaya. O winner of wealth, now please listen as I tell you in detail of the different kinds of understanding and determination according to the three modes of material nature. Now, after explaining knowledge, object of knowledge, and the knower in three different divisions, according to the modes of nature, the Lord is explaining the intelligence and determination of the worker in the same way. Pravritim cha nivritim cha karya bhaya bhaye bandham moksham cha yaveti buddhi sapartha satviki. O son of Pritha, that understanding by which one knows what ought to be done and what ought not to be done, what is to be feared and what is not to be feared, which is binding and what is liberating, is in the mode of goodness. Means one who can discriminate between good and bad, what should I do and what should not I be doing. Performing actions in terms of the directions of the scriptures is called pravritti, or executing actions that deserve to be performed, and actions which are not so directed are not to be performed. One who does not know the scriptural directions becomes entangled in the actions and reactions of work. Understanding which discriminates by intelligence is situated in the mode of goodness. So understanding which discriminates by intelligence. So that is mode of goodness. Let's see what is passion. Yaya dharmam adharmam cha karyam cha akaryam eva cha ayatvat prajanati buddhi sapartha rajasi. O son of Pritha, that understanding which cannot distinguish between religion and irreligion, between action and the action that should be done and action that should not be done, is in the mode of passion. So he has the intelligence, but he doesn't know what's good and bad, what is religion and irreligion. So that is passion. Adharmam dharmam iti ya manyate tam savrita sarvarthan vipritansha buddhi sapartha tamasi. That understanding which considers irreligion to be religion and religion to be irreligion, under the spell of illusion and darkness, and strives always in wrong direction, or path is in the mode of ignorance. So which considers irreligion to be religion, means whatever is against the dharma, he says, no, this is the dharma, this is the right dharma. And whatever is mentioned in scriptures, he works against that, because whatever is mentioned in scripture, he says it's irreligion. This is not what religion talks about. And strives always in the wrong direction. Wrong direction is wrong direction according to scriptures. From his perspective, he's always right. But that's not right according to scriptures. Intelligence in the mode of ignorance is always working the opposite of the way it should be. It accepts religions which are not actually religions and rejects actual religion. Men in ignorance understand a great soul to be common man and accept a common man as a great soul. They think truth to be untruth and accept untruth as truth. In all activities, they simply take the wrong path. Therefore, the intelligence is in the mode of ignorance or darkness. So they always take the wrong path. We are always given choices at every step before we begin any action. Even during the action, we are given choices by Paramatma sitting in our heart. He tells us what is right and what is wrong. And still, if we choose to do the wrong thing, he says, so be it. And then you have to suffer the reactions. But at that time, when we are acting in the mode of passion or ignorance, we don't really understand what is going on. We don't understand what the scriptural injunctions could be. It just feels good. That's why we do it. So my feeling good will definitely be separate, definitely be different from your all feeling good factors, or different from any person on the street. So if he thinks killing somebody feels good, so it is okay. And if I think stealing something from somebody makes me feel good, then it must be okay. So let me do it. But these are both against the scriptures. So that's why Guru is very much required for us to understand the scriptures. Okay, I guess I'll stop here, because then determination or dhriti is what Krishna will talk about. I'll see anybody has any questions or comments.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
I have a question. I mean, despite we knowing the fact that what we have to be Krishna conscious and utilize our time, but I mean, I'm talking about myself. I'm getting so much, driven by Maya that, as you talked about, that filling targets, taking new projects. I mean, so much involved into it. I mean, feel that probably earlier I was able to devote some of my more time into Krishna conscious activities, but now I'm finding it very difficult, Prabhuji. If you can help me, Prabhuji, what to do? I mean,
What to do? You already doing chanting?
Prabhuji, what I feel that still, earlier what used to happen was, in between I used to hear to some lectures, or, it was not so much kind of target oriented. But now, as each day is passing, there is like lot of targets. Every day when I get up, I think that, okay, I will take out some time in between and chant one round after 2 3 hours. But it just becomes so difficult. I mean, and I find it very difficult. I feel that I'm not, I mean, I'm probably deteriorating down and down. I mean, not listening to much of a thing because I can see that. I earlier used to hear to Radhanath Swami Maharaj's lectures quite frequently in the morning, but now I'm not able to take the time out. I don't know why. It's all the same things that I'm doing, but I don't know. I feel that probably my mind is just playing with me and diverting me in all these things.
See, mind will always play games. So in the morning when we chant, sit down and chant your rounds. So that will immune our mind and heart to anything else. At least it will help to whatever extent. And then we are listening to Prabhupada's scriptures. And then at work, yes, there would be work, there would be targets given by the bosses, and we have to fulfill those targets to whatever extent we can, which is fine. But slowly, 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 we have to train our mind, our consciousness to think, okay, this is a work which I'm doing is actually provided to me by Krishna only. So let me do it nicely. This is a service he has given me right now. At least the service that we have is not as bad as what Arjun had to do after listening to whole Bhagavad Gita. We don't have to kill anybody. So we have to bring Krishna into our picture, into our lives. He's there. We just have to remember him. So the idea behind chanting and reading and whatever time you can go to temple with the family and whatever you can do spiritually, idea is to think of Krishna always. Yes, there will be distractions. I mean, we are not perfect yet. We are starting. We are not even started yet. We are struggling to start. This is where we are at right now. But yes, we have to make progress, so we will make progress. So yes, struggle is there. Great. Living in the material world is more struggle. So we have to somehow focus on Krishna. Work is there, we have to do, but think this work is given to me by Krishna. Krishna is my best friend. He would not give me something that I won't do it. I won't be able to do. All he wants us to think of him, dedicate everything to him. Is it okay, Mamta?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mamta.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mamta.
When we talk about envious attitude, Prabhuji, we all know that there is somewhere we have that attitude, but it's just that we don't realize it.
Well, enviousness is the reason we are here in the material world anyway. We got envious of Krishna. So yes, we don't realize it or we don't want to admit it. We can justify it. We can cover it up, but we have to understand we are envious of others.
Regarding that, last night I had a thought, like when we see anything in two dimension, Prabhuji, so we realize that in 2 dimension we can see two lines crossing each other. But the same way, when we think something in a 3-dimensional or a 4-dimensional, 3D or a 4D way, then we can realize that actually that line is not crossing each other, but it has a certain different route, which is in a third direction or a 4th direction. So
Mhm.
that way, Krishna consciousness is also like, more we are closer to it, more we realize the others people journey as in soul, like Brahma Kumari says, or more we are away from this Krishna consciousness or chanting or good devotees association, we realize everyone is competition to me. Otherwise, and this is what I felt, that whenever I somehow get into material uh, atmosphere more, I start feeling insecure about my position and everything. But as soon as I start chanting and I start being in my right consciousness, it feels like they have their role to play and I have my role to play in my life. So if it has to go, it will go. I cannot do anything. It is all Krishna's wish and mercy. So I have to any which ways attend my path. So nobody will cross me. Just thinking in the 3D or 4D direction, I start thinking like that. I
Yeah,
don't know.
that's nice. That's nice. Everybody, like you said about Brahm Kumaris, listening to Shivani Devi one day, and wonderfully she said, everybody is on their own path, at their own pace, and their own point where they started from. Everybody doesn't start from scratch, zero, because we all have come through so many different lifetimes. So there is no competition. There cannot be competition. There can only be helping each other. That's all. So, and also, once I was listening to a lecture, enviousness is what? Basically, if we analyze it, if if a person A has more knowledge, person B has more beauty, person C has more wealth, person D has some other capabilities more than I do, then I have to understand they got it because of their karma and because of the mercy of Krishna on them. So, am I to say Krishna doesn't know what he is doing and is giving them the mercy, not to me? That doesn't make sense. So, this is enviousness. When I get envious of somebody's achievements, means I'm ridiculing Krishna's decisions. Why you're giving them more than you're giving to me? Krishna knows what is he doing. So why get envious of others? Getting envious of others means we are ridiculing Krishna, and we are not a devotee of Krishna. So we have to start serving others, understanding how wonderful they are. They got so much of mercy of Krishna. If I serve them, I'll also please Krishna and I'll also get his mercy. But yes, it's difficult to come to this level, to understand this and act on this. It's difficult. But we have to work on this. This is what sadhana bhakti is. Vedi sadhana bhakti. That's what we are trying to do. Is that okay, Mata?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mata.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Chalo, I guess we can stop here. You all have
Jai
wonderful
Srila
days.
Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.